Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, the show where we go over and review every game of the weekend. We talk about the bets we made, the bets we missed, screenshot of the markets, and just review the games, what we saw, what we think. Joining me, Darcy Ballard. Dobe, how are you?
Mate, I'm very, very good. Look, we had a good win on Friday night in the personals, and then coming later today, Jev, we have been stiffer than a 10-year-old watching a bad magazine for the first time. I'll tell you what, Jev, we have been on the bad end of some bad losses. But, Jev, it's very exciting. Blues are locked in and playing finals. The Bloods are locked in and playing finals after a convincing smashing over the Crows, Jev. Can we check in on that point post? I saw you last
snapped
night.
in half. It is snapped in half.
It's like Lee Matthews ran into it.
Yeah, it is gone.
That was... I don't know where the controversy is, Jev. Went straight through. Nah, to be serious, though, that's bullshit. Even you agree, just the way that it's done, you should be able to review the howler. And if they know it clearly went through, there has to be something where you can override it because, as I said, thank God it happened now. I know it cost Adelaide a final spot, but imagine that cost someone a grand final. Same as the Tom Hawkins thing against St Kilda. He smiddled it into the post and it went through. Big turning point of the game. So let's hope they get that corrected because I would hate to see that again going forward.
Darcy, it is fucking weird that you and me support the two hottest teams in the comp right now. If you told me at round 13, after the Swans had just lost to the Saints by 14 points, and then Carlton had just lost to the Bombers by 34 points, I think we were 14th and 13th on the ladder, dead set 4th and 5th worst teams in the league by a mile, that we were both locked in to play finals and the two informed teams in the comp, I would have been shocked.
Well, we've won 9 in a row, Jev.
And we're 6 in a row.
Which is unbelievable. 9 in a row. We were 4 wins.
Yeah.
Jev, we were 4-8 and a draw. We are now 13 and 8.
It's unbelievable.
It is incredible what a couple of wins do, and hasn't really hit me, Jev, that we're actually playing finals. And I think we've almost got it locked in. I don't think we're going to be playing each other. There's still lots to play out, obviously, but mate, I can't wait for it. And it started off on Friday night, Jev.
We will play each other. Well, there's a couple of different scenarios we can play each other. If you guys win, nah. If you guys lose,
we stay.
You need St Kilda to lose. You guys need to lose, and then GWS jump above, and the Swans need to lose, and GWS jump above the Swans, and then it'd be Carlton Swans first final, 5th versus 8th.
5th versus 6th. 6th versus 7th.
Nah. You guys would stay on 54 at 5th, and we would drop down to 8th if GWS beat you.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
we're 7th right now.
But then if St Kilda beat us, they leapfrog us.
Well, if St Kilda, they play Brisbane at the Gabba. They won't win.
Yeah, no, they won't win.
Oh, they might. They're playing good footy. We'll get to that later. Anyway, let's get to the first game of the weekend. Collingwood versus Brisbane. Lions get it done by 24 points. No to Goey, no Dacos, no more. It felt like this was the Lions game to win. It felt like before the game, if they win this, they lock up second position and they basically don't have to come back to Melbourne till grand final day is what they'd be thinking. What were your thoughts, Dars?
Yeah, Jev, well, the first goal scorer of the game, was bless you. Callum Archie. Jev, he kicked the first. He actually kicked 2 goals. He had 7 touches, 2 goals before getting absolutely tunnelled by Murphy. Tell you what, he would have cracked a few ribs. He looked, when you're gasping for air, Jev, you genuinely think you're dying.
Yeah.
That was the sneeze, Archie. But apart from that, Jev, we did call it at the start of the week. Me and you, we did say at the start of the week when we were chatting. I pretty much wrote it down in our Discord. I've got a word for word. This is what we put in there. Anyone, if they want my opinion, doesn't matter. I was going to tell you anyway. Pies have locked up the top spot. Lions need to lock up second. Neither team want to get injured. They want to have neither team want to be super contested, basketball style, up and down, very fast. Has every possibility to be a shootout. Lots of touches, lots of goals. Give us your best legs. And Jev, we hit a big $800 winner at the start of the week. Our last leg, what we needed was Hugh McCluggage to get. He was on 19. We need him for 20 touches. He got 1 kick with about 5 minutes to go, and that was it. Didn't get near it. Finished on 20, and I was absolutely shitting my pants. Like, just running around contests, like never getting into it. Oh, it was very nerve-wracking, but the Discord went off. We got a massive win. So that multi paid 19-1. So it was a good start. We slapped a 50 on that one. But yeah, Jev, everything that we thought was going to happen, it was very fast. Neither team really wanted to get, as we said, injured. Scott Pendlebury, Jev, I know Stenny's going to be listening to this. Geez, he was quick on the group chat.
Wound back the clock.
Oh, he was just saying, he was loaded up. He went and had a go at Kingy, had a go at me and you, saying that we thought Pendlebury was slow, but it was warranted. He didn't have a good month.
No,
He was unbelievable. Best plays on the ground. Lockie Neal, Jev.
was he back?
Was he back? You don't tag him. He
Yeah.
had 31, a goal. Almost kicked an unbelievable goal. His clearance work when you don't go near him, he's unbelievable. He was playing like Brownlow, Lockie Neal, so he had a massive influence. Tom Mitchell got a lot of it, but same thing, not too influential on the game. But the big one, Charlie Cameron, Jev, when he can get out the back and squirt those little ones, he's so dangerous and it's hard to stop. But it's funny, when Brisbane play well, all their forwards seem to fire. Cameron kicked 4, Danaher kicked 3, and then Hipwood kicked 3. Cam Rayner was really busy, and also Zach Bailey. Both of those two boys kicked 2. That's when they're at their best. They post really high scores, and everyone gets involved.
Yeah, and they come in different ways into the forward line. Like Charlie Cameron running back to goal with space behind him, then Danaher's hitting up or kicking to Bailey and Rayner and contest. Like they kick goals in so many different ways, so much firepower. This is, I struggle to wrap my arms around the Lions, but this has got to be their best chance at a premiership they've had, doesn't it? Got the top 2 finished. They've got the Gabba home final into the Gabba prelim if they win. Come grand final day, this is their best list to win it, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be. Minus the Ashcroft point where they looked a little bit worried the last 2 weeks. They've looked to fire. As you said, they do get, from now on, they go back to the Gabba this week against the Saints. Another 2 games there before having to try and turn it on at the MCG. If they happen to get there, it's going to be like, I think anyone can win it this year, but if you can have some things in your favour, like a home ground advantage, makes a massive difference for them to try and get there. But I have had a little prediction, Jev. I said it 2 weeks ago. My prediction for the grand final, it's going to come full circle. Brisbane Carlton.
You love it?
Vossi versus the old mob. He won 3 flags with them.
Now he's going to beat him.
Comes back, goes to coach, gets fired against the old mob. It comes full circle. Vossi holds up the cup again at the MCG. Carlton, Brisbane, Jev, you've heard it here. Blues beat the Lions.
Wow. I saw the Lions being Collingwood like 8 times in a row, 7 times in a row.
I think last 6.
So now an injured Collingwood are going to play Melbourne on the G first final. If they lose that, they got to go the long way, which will include Brisbane at the Gabba, who Brisbane don't lose at the Gabba. They pump the Pies at the Gabba, and they pump Collingwood like, geez, that first final's huge for Collingwood.
They have potential if the Blues won their first final, if they lose to Melbourne, potentially have to go Carlton, then Brisbane.
Yeah.
And then if they win that, then probably Port Adelaide.
Or Melbourne again, yeah. Fucking hell. It's going to be crazy. Geez, people are jumping off the Pies. Some people think they're still the team to beat, but I don't know. They're just...
I just think, Jeff, winning 1 out of your last 4 games coming into finals, and I said to you, almost every team over the last 10 years, you need good form coming into finals.
Yeah.
Like, you really do. Like, that is pretty much the number one thing. Momentum is massive. And I actually found a graph the other day. So, Geelong last year, the last 5 rounds, 5-0. Melbourne the year before, 2001, were 4-1. Richmond, 5-0. Richmond, 5-0. West Coast were a bit of an anomaly, 3-2. Richmond, 4-1. And then all the Hawthorns before that, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1.
Yeah.
Collingwood are currently 1-3.
Yeah, and Hoyne and Kingy call it the premiership runway. Like, this is when you're supposed to be best team on the field playing your best footy of the year.
A launch pad. And Luke Hodges talks about it all the time.
And they're doing the exact opposite right now. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
It is.
All right, we'll get into the next game. Richmond, North Melbourne. Wasn't much to this game other than it was Jack Riewoldt, Trent Cotchin and Jack Siebel's last game, Das. We both had a good look at this game. Talk to me.
They were going nuts on the radio at the start. It was an absolute turnover fest. They said it was shocking. Watching this game, because Me and you thought it was morals. Jack Rewalt, it's going to be a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Look the bright side on the MCG. Absolutely fill your boots. I thought the Tigers did such a bad job at trying to get him the football.
Yeah.
They pulled him off heaps.
Yeah.
He was on the bench heaps. Noah Bolter went forward in the last quarter or the second half. How many did he fucking end up kicking? 2 goals. Mate, he was turning his back.
Yeah, I know.
I fucking hate it. Like, I didn't get it. I fucking hated watching it. But Jev, put him in the All Australian side as your forward pocket. Dustin Martin, lock him in for me.
You like it? You loved his season?
31-3 on the weekend.
So he paid,
He's been fucking unbelievable.
yeah, really has been. He's had such an underrated season. For a team that's been average, geez, he hasn't been average. Like, I witnessed it with my own eyes. He beat the Swans on his own that night. So for 30, he paid $6.25 for 30 touches.
Jev, Dusty's averaging 23 goals and 1 goal, 1 a game.
Yeah, 23 touches, 1 goal, 1. So he paid $6.25 for 30 and $2.85 for 3 goals. So he had a hell of a day. Nick Larkey kicked 6.
Yeah.
I heard him talking today. He nearly has to be in the All-Australian side, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Rather than, like, would you pick Dusty or would you pick a bloke that's kicked 62 goals in a side that's lost 20 in a row?
It depends. Because it's positional, if you have Charlie and Tex,
Yeah.
if they were in your forward line, yeah, are you going to put Larky in there as another tall or do you want Dusty?
Yeah. But then the problem is
I'm not sure.
they're going to put midfielders on the half forward line.
I just don't know how they pick it. Is it a team that's trying to win a game? Like,
Nah.
but is it just an accolade? Because if it's positional wise, or else you just put the top 6 goal kickers in there.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. You got to
So
pick a team.
I think he's probably stiff. Like, as he said, they've lost their last 20 straight games. And he doesn't even get to verse North Melbourne to play against that back line.
Yeah, you're right.
You get to verse him at training, probably gives him confidence.
So Shy Bolton kicked 4. They paid $7.25 for 4.
What do you pay for 25 touches?
That's just his usual market, just $1.50. $2.95.
Yeah, I thought he'd be around that.
And then that's about it. Did Trent Cotchin kick 1?
Nah, he had a couple of shots but missed. Yeah. Good win by the Tigers. Really nice send off.
Yeah,
Jev,
it was.
This is unbelievable. I actually want all the listeners to hear this. If you're a North fan or someone going to North, which potentially might be Harley Reid at this point, which we'll get into, but I've got word he's going to go to Melbourne. Jack Zeeble, champion of North, yeah? Been there through thick and thin. 279 career games. That was his 22nd at the MCG.
That is so fucked.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, get him out in the G more, but they're not box office enough.
That is just wrong.
Yeah.
He's only played 22 games at the G.
Yeah, and a
He's
280.
played like 155 at the G.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's bad. But yeah, Jev, North are terrible. Richmond finish off the season. Good luck to them
I
next
still
year.
think West Coast will win in a final before Richmond. I've been on it all year.
Yeah, you have.
West Coast. Anyway, next game, Gold Coast versus Carlton. Carlton get away with a 4-point win after the Gritty Suns had a dead set crack. Know you're up about in this game, Das. You watched it from start to finish. What did you see?
So got home from work, Jev, put the feed up, and I checked the score, and it's 40-2. What's going on here, boys? Is the heat getting to it? Blake Acres was at SeaWorld. Cottrell got his movie pass. He was on the Scooby-Doo roller coaster. Motlop was getting some cotton candy, mate. They were going around. All the boys were everywhere, apart from on the field. Paddy Dow looked slow, forgot to put his boots on. Still had the thongs on off the plane. And then we start to turn it on in the second quarter. The Suns can match a lot of teams with physicality, but they don't have the skill within their team and talent at the moment to be able to keep that up for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And I said, if they keep up that pressure, we're eventually going to start getting a lot more turnovers and then scoring on the back of that. Charlie Curnow did exactly that in the second quarter. 8 score involvements, 4 goals, had Charlie Ballard in his back pocket. Honestly, if you emptied his pocket at the end of the game, his keys, his wallet, Charlie Ballard would come out.
Yeah.
That's how much he had him in his back pocket. And he absolutely took the piss. Really good arm wrestle towards the second half. And in that last 2 minutes, Jev, I just said we've been in this situation so many times over the last 3 years. I'd like to think that we've trained for it.
Yeah.
And if we lose again, well, it's just another fucking learning curve in our fucking story to try and win a premiership. But unbelievable. Like, you can tell that we did. Charlie Curnow going back, he is like, how good was that? Like, not to even spoil, just go back. When Cottrell went to go long, he didn't even go down the line. He's like, I'm just going to go straight back to the
Yeah.
goal square.
Put
Went
himself in
back,
the perfect spot.
only eyes for the footy, took it, and you could see when the siren went, he was absolutely exhausted, Wiedering a hug, and the relief from the Carlton players just to know they've put in the hard work to actually finally make it. Just gets me excited, Jev. And if Noah Anderson kicked that goal, I would have been fucking filthy. But he had a good look, but the Blues end up getting the win. Good teams win, Jev. They just get it done this time of year.
Yeah,
9 on the trot, very exciting.
you got to have that little bit of luck. We'll get into luck later, but Norrison had a bloody good look that he'll be filthy missed, but got to have luck. He's missed. You guys won. I'm looking at Charlie Curnow's second quarter, as you just said, 8 disposals, 4 goals, and a goal assist. And then just when he put himself behind the ball, he put himself in the perfect spot, and you just saw Gold Coast going to kick it long. He set himself, and he just took the mark to win the game. And it's just like, I was just like, this bloke's a freak. And it's sort of like, if you were drafting the competition next year, like, you could argue he's pick one on any team. If you could have any player in the comp on your team, whether you think he's the best player in the comp or not, I think he's your pick one. He's your best forward in the comp at the best, most important position on the ground. Like, you could say, you can think Bond's better, or you can think Clary or Dacos are better. But if I'm thinking pick one, I can have anyone in the league. Is he your pick one?
Can you imagine him as a key defender?
I'd be a gun.
He'd read it. He jumps. His arms. He's so long. Athleticism, speed, strength.
Foot skills at the moment. He's kicking at the moment. Is out of this world.
That's what I mean. Because he's a forward and you only get to see a small sample size of him actually having shots on goal. When he gets ball in hand and gets a bit of space, yeah, if you didn't watch the whole game, he had like 4 of them.
Yeah.
He kicked people open from the other side of the field.
Isn't it funny how Tex is a beautiful kick like that? Buddy used to be a beautiful kick like that. It's like, it's big forwards just showing the mids like, this is how I want you to kick it to me. I'll show you guys and start kicking it to me. He wheels and they just turn into direct goals because they're just such good penetrating kicks.
It's like it's a video game and like they just pinpoint it. But they get so much leverage. I was always a small kick jabber. I've got little legs, much flexibility. And when I see someone just wheel and go an 80-meter sizzler to advantage, it is unbelievable. But without him and Wiedering, Jev, we don't win that football game. Wiedering was fantastic.
Yeah.
And as we said, we've been talking about, there is no real locks for the All-Australian team. Like, so many players have been up and down. Like, Dacos is a lock. Like, he's obviously been injured for the back half of the year. There's been no one that's been like top to bottom all year.
Yeah.
Like that Dusty 2017. Like, it's just like he's dominated every single game.
Charlie Curnow's a lock.
Yeah, he's like, but he had like a middle patch where we're losing. He wasn't getting much. Like, his last couple of months has been great. But yeah, Jev, we locked in pretty much 5th spot and finals. So
yeah, happy days that I can't believe you're going to a final. Fucking oath. So David Swallows kicked 4 goals, 3 darts. Who was on him?
I bet you can only get him for 2.
2 at $10.50. Curnow's kicked 5 at $3.90. Morgs man Benny Ainsworth, and then Big Sammy Flanders had 36. What did he pay for 35? He's in some good form. $8.50 for 35. Nick Newman another 30.
Yeah, he has to be in the 40.
$3.80. God, it's unbelievable what he's done to his just career and playing. Oh, good on him.
Can I give one little bit of shout to Paddy Dow as well? He looks slow at the start. He really, just the start again, he's not a fast starter, but you can tell he's put some time in. Like, once he gets to a few clearances, like, because he dominates VFL, and a lot of it's, if you're just trying to go to space, you can read it really well, and you're not just like in a key position where you're just going one-on-one with someone. He reads it well, gives first options. He's really clean. He just lacks a bit of speed, but I'm so happy with what he's done, and I really hope he ends up either being in the field team or at least a sub, because I think he deserves to stay on the side. Good win, though.
Next game. The Giants beat the Bombers by 26 points. 126 points does. This was dead set embarrassing, wasn't it? This was fucked. How the Bombers had a fucking the Bombers can still technically make finals. It's not going to happen, but they can still technically make finals. They won this and then, won again, whoever they got, Collingwood. They're playing finals. And they lose to GWS by 126 points. They got fucking pumped. They were cones. It was so bad.
It was one of the biggest lack of effort. We had that in the Matildas game going side by side, Jev. The Matildas lost 2-0, and they still had more shots on goal than the Bombers. I'm telling you what, they were... Oh, there was zero effort. Like, zero effort. And our man, Jev, Zerk Thatcher Brandon, talk about being in someone's back pocket. He was shining Jesse Hogan's shoes. Oh my God, I'll tell you what, he must have been tired from chasing him around all day. Every time it's just looking at the ground, just marking the mark. He got absolutely led to water and his head dunked in it. That's what he got. He got alligator rolled all game. He eventually went off him in the last quarter, and then I still think he had 2 kicked on him by whoever he was on. Wasn't a good game, but I swear the Giants do this once or twice a year when they're rolling. They had Freo at home earlier in the end, smacked him by about 75 points, or close to 100 as well. Fuck, they're an interesting team, aren't they, Jev? But once they get rolling, because they're so fit and they've got so much, they were just piecing them up any way they wanted to.
I love the way they play of it's mids being mids. Like, they are good midfielders. They go head to head with other midfielders, and their backs defend their fucking ass off with Lockie Ash and Whitfield flying off the half back. And then it's just like, it's the superstar Toby Green, and then it's Binga Daniels, it's Jesse Hogan, it's Toby Bedford, it's Cal Brown. It's just like guys down there with Toby Green, and they're just competitors. They just want to compete. They want to play footy. They're good footballers. Like, I really like the way they play footy. And I cannot believe, like, Jesse Hogan's, is this the best stat line of the season, Das?
I think
9 goals won, 24 touches, 17 marks. It was pretty impressive.
it has to be the most because of who they versed as well.
Like, if the Bombers beat them, they took their spot in the 8. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
And he's kicked 9. He paid 46 to 1 for 6. They've had 13 different goal kickers. So Binga Daniels has kicked 3. Our man, Young King, he paid 6.25 for 3. Toby Green must be shattered. He only had 2 goals and 9 touches, and he's been tactically subbed off because they put the Ferrari back in the garage. He doesn't need to get injured in one of these games. 13 different goal kickers. Tom Green's had 39. What did he pay for 35?
He's a fucking freak.
But, like, he's a contested bull, but he looked like bloody the best outside mid in the comp out there. He was running around doing what he wanted. $3.35, Cornelio 30, Himmelberg 30. What did Himmelberg pay for 30? You could get him at $7.75. Josh Kelly 30, Whitfield 30, Callan Ward 30. Like,
that would have been that's one of those anomaly games where it's like
you could have won so much money off this game. If you had Tom Green 35, Cornelio 30, Himmel 30, Kelly 30, Whitfield 30, Callan Ward 30, oh, you'd be rich.
And Zach Merritt 25, Ash 25, Parrish 25.
Yeah, oh God.
Binga Daniels 3 and Jesse Hogan 6.
Oh, you'd be a rich, rich man, Doe. But, like, I just want to hear from the Bombers supporters, like, are they seriously embarrassed? They've kicked 5 goals, 6 for the day.
I was with Nida, who's a Bomber supporter, the Twisted Truth. And he got to the stage where I've been before. It's like, good. I actually want them to keep kicking goals. Like, this is beyond a joke. You see Brad Scott after the game. He's like, full board review, everyone. We're going to be looking into everything. I'm telling you, people are getting fired at the Bombers next week. There will be about 20 to 30 people getting fired. But, as I said,
I reckon Darcy Parish is going to go to Geelong.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes.
They're begging for a midfielder, and I reckon he just knows that Essendon's cursed. They're never going to win a final, are they? When
Is
are they
Stringer,
playing and winning a final?
is Stringer back meant to be fit?
What diet is he on? Is he like me and he has a schnitter roll at Smoko or something? Schnitter roll, sausage roll, and a chalky milk, but he's a professional athlete, not a carpenter. What does Jake Stringer eat? For fuck's sake.
Oh my god, that is so
Oh,
fucking funny.
that was so bad. Right, next game. St Kilda beat the Cats and end their season by 33 points. Bloody, I got to say to us about the Saints. Actually, you go first. I didn't see much of this game because I was watching Swans Crows, so I didn't see much of this game.
I've seen the Saints play the last 3-4 weeks at Marvel. Once they get a roll on there, Jev, they are very nice. They absolutely piece up the Tigers. Who they have last week there? Not the Cats. Or was it the Tigers? They had Tigers, and then who else they have the week before?
Carlton the week before
Yeah,
that.
Carlton before we beat them, and then they beat someone else the week before that. Oh, the Hawks. So they beat
Hawks.
them. They beat them by 29 points. So they kicked 122 points against the Hawks. So they've been playing actually really well there. When they're looking good, they come in and out of the corridor. Like they've got those what's the word? Like those a lot of small mids, but they look like really fit.
Yeah,
Like a lot of good runners, and because it's indoors, it's like it's a fast deck.
yeah.
And they try and put speed on the ball, and when they do, they can piece up teams as long as they don't turn the ball over. And fuck, they went end to end. Max King's actually been in some fine form. Once he gets out in front of a lead and he gets his confidence, gets his hands up, and reaches the ball at the highest point, he tends to get a hold of a few. And if he can kick a couple early, he's one of those players. His confidence is right up. But Jev, after all the talk this year, I just feel it's going to end up a St Kilda Swans first final, and it's going to be the Jevy Cup, Jevy versus the people, and I cannot wait to be a part of it.
I got to say something on
Nah, just I can keep it.
just like Rowan Marshall, what a season he's having.
He's a gun.
He's a gun. He after Timmy, like the Dogs aren't going to make the finals, you could argue he's the All-Australian ruckman.
100%.
He'll go bloody close to All-Australian ruckman. Jack Sinclair's been an All-Australian lock from round one. And I just reckon about the Saints, because they don't have a superstar, like a really marketable superstar. They don't have a Nick Dacos or, these Charlie Curnows. These guys are like face of the AFL superstar good. I don't reckon anyone gets the superstar treatment in St Kilda. And I reckon their superstar is actually Ross Lyon. And he coaches them hard and they just play as a team of 22. They're 22 guys trying to achieve the goal. And I've been so critical of them, but I can't fault what they've done the last 4 weeks. They've won 4 out of the last 5, only lost to the Blues. Now in that game. And they just get it done as a team. It's like, yeah, their good players play well and their forwards kick goals, their backs defend. And just as a team, they're getting it done. And I can't fault it. They're playing finals. Like, Essendon and Kilda be playing finals, but their weakest piece. And Kilda, it's just it's not easy to win games consistently in this league, and they've just ended the Cats season. If you told me before round one, St Kilda Cats loser doesn't make finals, you'd go, well, Cats are going to win by 100 points. Nah, St Kilda have just beaten them, so I'm fucking impressed with the Saints.
You can tell when they're doing well when they're getting forward pressure on, because they're the worst team in the league at getting it inside forward 50 and then converting scores on top of that. So when it comes in, it goes out. Mind you, for a lot of that, they've had no Membry, they've had no King for a lot of it. So a lot of times when it is trying to come in and quick, you can see it come straight back out, as it did against the Blues, where Wiedering was just able to sit behind the ball. But you look at guys, Butler was able to kick 2. Cooper Sharman's actually a good player. Jev kicked 2. The young tip rat, Jack Higgins, when he's playing well, he kicked 2 goals. Max King kicked 3. So obviously a lot of it's coming in and they've been able to keep it in as well. Mateus Philippou kicked 1, Mitch Owens kicked 1. So that's them at their core when they're at their best, when they can push end to end. Not only that, but if they can lock it inside the forward 50 and then regroup, those guys are very talented and very agile in front of goals, and they can just go to work and do their thing because they are very, very clever. But it's just the whole point of getting it in. And you can see when those guys want it, then they go to work, they get the ball in, and the crowd, like, their fucking supporters make some noise when they're there.
Yeah,
they're fucking
bloody
feral,
up and about, the supporters. They are up and about. It is going to be very, very sad when the Swans finish their season. It is going to be very, very unfortunate when we do the first one. I'll think about how I'm going to approach it. Once it gets locked in that we're playing the Saints first final, I'll think about how I'm going to approach it. Do I put myself out there and get made to look like a fuckhead, or do I just keep my mouth shut? We'll work out a plan. Have a think about it. But I'm looking. So Jack Sinclair's had 38 for 35. He was $5. Brad Hill, he's had 30 for. Where is he? Brad Hill for 30 was $10.50. That's nice. And then goals. Yeah. King for 3 was $2.20. Jack Higgins for 2 was $2.05. Dan Butler for 2 was $2.45. Cooper Sharman for 2 was $4.60. Just all their forwards kicking goals. Like they've had 7 goal kickers, and it was just basically their forward 7 when Rowan Marshall rests down there at full forward. So I like the way they're playing right now. I don't think they have. What I've been critical about is their list and their talent. I don't think they have the talent to win the flag, but you can see they're now getting coached the right way to win finals. But now they just need a bit more talent in their side, and they're going to be. And like they've got Philippou and Mitch Owens and Wanganeen Malira. Like they're going to get some more talent. So yeah,
They need a little bit more if they want to hang around, stay relevant from their older guys, from their vets to hang on just a little bit more. Like even as you said, guys like Brad Hill, Jev, he's been around a long time. He's played 231 games.
Yeah.
And you forget how good he was.
He was playing at Hawthorn. He's gone from Hawthorn to Freeholders and Kilda.
3-time premiership player, and he used to run guys into the dirt.
Yeah.
Like into the dirt. So if he can hang around, like as I said, like I've seen him fucking dominate the Blues so many times. So you got to give him the respect he deserves. But another 31 touches, Jev. When he's going, their runners are going. That's the essence of their game. As long as they can lock it in and give their forwards a good opportunity.
All right, let's get into the game of the round, Das. The Swans absolutely pump the Crows by 1 point, Das. We get over the line by a point. Oh, God, this was fucked. I don't want to be a brash, arrogant Swan supporter. The Crows should have won this football game. That was a clear goal from Ben Keys. I was being a smart ass on the Insta last night. I don't actually mean that. The Crows are Australia's team. We've loved watching them all year. We've got the 4 points. I feel bad for them because that was clear as day a goal. Yeah, there was 70 seconds left going back to the middle, but the way the Swans played that last 40 minutes of football, there was no way we were going to kick a goal. The crowd was behind the Crows, so I feel sorry for the Crows, but it is bloody nice that in the Swans' worst season, where we've sat 15 months of the year, we've now locked up a final spot to us, and we're playing finals again with 6 in a row win streak.
Absolutely kissed on the dick, I believe that was the word Nida said last night. Just can't believe it, Jev. You've been relevant since about 2004, 2005. So you're coming on to 20 years of pretty much playing finals almost every year. Like I'm getting stoked. Blues about to play finals for the first time since 2013. And that year we finished 9th. It was the Essendon saga. That's the only reason why we actually made the finals.
That is so fucked.
We're 9th to 8th, Jev. So it's been a long ride. But as you said, you guys, this is meant to be your down year, and everyone's like, oh, finally, the Swans are doing shit. Sitting pretty much 15th the whole year, and it's going to be a mediocre year for the Swans, and you're going to finish 6th.
Yeah.
So it's 6th or 7th. So it's unbelievable. This has been you the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? You go hard, same as the Bombers game, and just running out of steam towards the back end of games that if there was ever a ground or a team that was going to come hard, it was the Crows at home. They kicked 3 goals in the first 90 seconds of the last quarter.
That was crazy.
Dominated. 4 goals, 8 to 1 point. They had some unbelievably good looks. Like Lockie Murphy kicked one, but also missed one. Set shots were going everywhere. Dawson was trying to inject himself on the game. It was coming in so fast. And then obviously we had that last little finisher at the end. I was getting up and about. I thought it was a goal.
Tex missed an easy one that he never misses in that last quarter.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the first half. This was like a finals type, like the pressure and the cracking in and the like contested ball was finals type. And the Swans were up by 42 points. They were up 9 goals to 1 at one stage. Like they were dominant. This was like, I was like, wow, we are seriously dominating here. And like every big contest, we ended up winning. It was Errol, it was Chad,
Heaney.
Isaac Heaney, Nick Blakey. They were all playing games. We were tagging Jordan Dawson. Callum Mills went to Jordan Dawson. At halftime, whatever, he was on 10 touches. Mills on 7. I think that was even 3/4 time. Like,
I'm
They were
pretty
just banging bodies.
sure
Wasn't
Dawson.
even Luke Parker.
Yeah, so you had Dawson for 4 touches in the first, and then Dawson got 6 in the second. And then Callum Mills, they asked him, like, yeah, how do you reckon you're going? He's like, yeah, trying to hold him. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's going to get into the game eventually.
It's
So,
unbelievable he played for the Swans. Yeah, and then he had 4. So he had, what do you have, 6, 10. He had 14 at three-quarter time. And then 5. We kept him 19 for the game. Like, it just
felt
shows
like he
how
had way
good
more
a
than
player
4
he
touches
is.
felt like he had way more than 4 touches in the last quarter, though, didn't it?
He was cracking in. He still did some stuff that you're like, I can see why you're the captain of the club. Like, he's just defensive work. Oh, I was so impressed. He's such a good player. But I was so impressed by the Swans' first half. It's a conversation for another day, but just the way we don't keep scoring and we're just trying to hold on to games. We did it in the prelim against the Pies last year. Pretty sure we were 40 points up in that game. Then we held on for like 2.5 quarters and won by a point. Done the exact same thing. Like, we kick one goal in the last quarter, we win the game. And we just,
As you said, Jeff, that's been your identity for about 20 years.
ever
The
since,
Swans, the Swan, when you were like 05, 06, you guys had like 10 taggers.
yeah,
You guys would get a bit of a lead, try and get it to Mickey O'Loughlin, try and get a quick one from Schneider Buchanan or Barry Hall,
yeah.
and then you just lock it up with blokes like
Tackling,
Paul,
Kirk, Jude
Paul Bevan.
Paul Bevan, just tackling. Yeah, I agree. It's like, and then I just think about it as like, so that was like Brett Kirk, and then Brett Kirk played with Jude Bolton, and then Jude Bolton handed it off to like Mills and Parker.
Canterbury.
Mills and Parker are teaching, and I just think we just shut up shop. It's like deeply embedded in our culture that we don't try and win games and keep attacking the game. We hold on and we tackle and we contest, and yeah, it's a conversation for another day. But we've won 6 in a row. We're playing finals again. We're going to play the Saints in the first final, I reckon. We've got the D's at the SCG next week who have locked up 4 spots. So you think they've got a couple of sore bodies they might not even bring in. Like, it's a good one to rest Petrarca, to rest Gorn maybe, give Brodie Grundy a game.
Yeah.
So we could win that. And, yeah, it's been a crazy season. I wrote us off. I thought, it's just not our year. Now we're playing finals. I could be going to a final. It could be Swans Saints at under the lid first final.
That would be awesome.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, I can't believe it. But what are some odds? It was a lot of touches. Wasn't many goals. Isaac Heaney was great. He's fucking back. He was dominant this game.
Yeah, he was.
He was seriously good. I'm so glad to see him back. And his goal kicking is back. He's finally going back and slotting his set shots. My big excuse. So he made 360.
We've been saying that the Swans about the last month and a half, that you've got your goal kicking and being able to apply scoreboard pressure, which has enabled you guys to probably play a little bit more freely and have the run on that you guys need. But as I said, when you need to, you guys just shut it down, clamp up, and just get the job done, finish off.
Yeah, so Heaney was 360 for 3. Our man Dawson McLean was $2.20 for 2. And then touches. So it was really Laird and Goulden. So Laird was for 30. It's usually not much. $2 for 30. And Goulden, it's good to see Goulden run around. He was $2.90 for 30. He had good looks at goal, and Chad Warner had good looks at goal. My lock of the night was Warner 25 and a snag. He had some good looks. He had his 25, but he didn't kick a snag. So it's good to see those two back playing again. We're getting the next game. The biggest upset of the season. The Eagles beat the Dogs under the lid by 7 points. Before the game, the Dogs were $1.02 to the Eagles $11, and they jump them and just beat them. Das, you and me were playing golf, but we watched the end of this game. What the fuck?
Goodbye, Harley Reid.
Goodbye, Harley Reid.
What a win. And look, I know culture, it's about winning, Jev. They're not going to get as much as what they are for pick 1 as they are for pick 2. So I'm not sure what the go is there. But
no one's trading up for pick 2, are they?
No. Nonetheless, Jev, the Dogs, Bont, 32 and a goal. Treloar, 32 and a goal. Dale, 25. Caleb Daniel, 25. Ed Richards, 23. Tim English, 21 and a goal. Bailey Smith, 21. If I told you that those guys were having that sort of game, they would have smashed them. Rory Lobb even ended up kicking 3. But, Jev, I need to go back and rewatch it. But you'd be surprised. West Coast, this is probably the 8th game at Marvel this year, 8th or 9th.
Yeah.
It's a home away from home.
Yeah.
They face a lot of the the teams, they don't like to pack out the G because they can't.
Yeah.
So they always play at the warehouse. They play there all the time, so they're actually used to it. They had Essendon a few weeks ago. They had us only a few weeks before that, and they've obviously come out to play, and they held on to that lead. We were watching it while we were getting a feed after golf. Couldn't believe it. They were up pretty much the whole game. Up
Yeah.
like 33-7.
They jumped them and then
39-26. I'm like, oh yeah, they're still up, but Dogs will come back. Incredible. I'm actually so happy.
and the Dogs hit the front and then the Eagles just took it back and beat them. Jamie Cripps just kicked 5 dust. Guess what he paid for? He could only get it for 4. Guess what he paid for 4?
Oh, 80s.
Nah, 41-1 for 4. Oscar Allen 3. What a season Oscar Allen's had. $2.85. Rory Lobb, bit of a duck Rory Lobb. He's kicked 3. He's kicked 3. $3.05 for 3. Apart from that, what about touches?
Mate, we said
130, Trelaw 30, Kelly 30.
Me and Morg said fucking Norton and Jamar were going to kick 10 between them, as they should. 2 key forwards. Like, they just lit up the Tigers the other week.
Yeah.
Lit them up.
We both sort of said Luke Beveridge has to be gone after that, doesn't he?
I
reckon he's lost the players. I know it's just one of those sayings, but
I actually don't know, because like I know people always say that sort of stuff. I'm like, unless you're in the build, I genuinely, you don't know. Maybe they're just playing. But as I said to Morgs when we're sitting down eating, how much of that loss comes down to coaching?
Well,
like they know how, like they've prepared, like on the game, they know who they're playing. What they just forget how to put in effort, like that. Like they didn't get out coached, they got outworked, outrun, skill efforts, and then they put on scoreboard pressure. Like they know how to fucking correct. Like it's how many leaders are there on field? How many games of those professionals that they can't come in? All right, boys, hey, let's lock on for a little bit. Let's get back to it, because they highly possess the footy. They play at Marvel all the time. Like that's not code. That's got to be on the players as well.
Yeah, but you say that, but I also reckon I just think their system's wrong. Like, they haven't trained pre-season properly. They don't play footy the right way.
Well, shown, situational this year. They've been.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Like last week when fucking Tim English took the kick out against the Hawks when they were down, like they've absolutely cost themselves to spot the finals. But I'm looking at their list. So Bailey Dale, Ed Richards, Bontempelli, Waitman, Norton, Ugle-Hagan, and Libber and Tim English would all play for every other team in the comp. Then there's like Bailey Smith, Caleb Daniel, Cody Waitman, Jackson McRae, Adam Treloar, Liam Jones would nearly all play for every other team in the comp. Their list is so solid. It's just so, what is wrong with them sort of thing. Like,
right. Like sometimes
it has to be coaching.
Well, Bevo's been there for like what, 12 years,
10 years. Yeah.
I don't know. So you might need a little shake up, something else for the players, but
It's time. Yeah, I think it's time.
well, it's definitely time to have the conversation. But great win by West Coast. Doggies got to win and got to hope for some other outcomes now.
They're playing the Cats at the Cats. Like, they've got better. I feel sorry for the Giants. Well, no, the Dogs have better percentage than the Giants. So, if the Giants lost to the Blues and the Dogs won, then they're going to steal their spot. So the Dogs have to win at Geelong, and Giants have to lose to Carlton, and they'll take their spot. And I'll be so. If Carlton played the Dogs first week of finals, you'd be nervous, wouldn't you?
Oh, I know this sounds silly. I'm actually not nervous to play anyone. I genuinely think everyone's in that same pack.
Yeah.
I think us, St Kilda, Sydney, Adelaide, GWS, Bulldogs, we're all like around that mark. Like we're all like ish the same. And then you'd say Collingwood, Brisbane, Port Melbourne, probably top 4. Blues are knocking, but all the other teams, it's like, oh fuck, it doesn't bother me. Play anyone. Hope to just fucking get it done on the day.
All right, let's get into
pretty much the last game. Melbourne Hawthorn.
Melbourne Hawks. Melbourne win by 27 points. Geez, we love Hawthorn and love the way they're going about it, but this was just a professional win by the Ds. They just got it done when they had to in the bigger moments. We didn't see heaps of this game. Melton's kicked 3 goals, 4. Geez, he had a lot of good looks. Van Roon's kicked 3. How good was some of Luke Bruce goals? He's the smoothest forward there is. He's velvet. Warble 30. Trent Rivers. Heard saying Daniel Hoyne said he's the best kick in the comp, so I watched him today. He's a beautiful kick of the football, isn't he?
I think he played in the 21 premiership. Came in, I think that was his first year, and they slotted him on the half back line. Then he got injured, and then he came back, and he's just doesn't make too many mistakes. He's a great kick, and he can fucking bury a ball as well.
Yeah, he's had 25 touches. He paid $5.30 for 25 after 27 touches. Sorry, Carl Amon's in bloody nice form. Jack Viney another 25. And what about the cooler, the ice block? Finn McGuinness went to Clayton Oliver, kept him to 1 goal and 14 touches. Kept him seriously quiet. He was on like 9 at three-quarter time. Then they started Clary on the bench, so they started McGuinness on the bench. Then Clary snuck on and got about 4 touches and a goal. McGuinness would have been spewing.
McGuinness is, as I said, some people are like, oh, imagine being that shit that your only job is to run around and stop people. Man, it's a fucking job.
Oh.
You look at different sports like the NFL. You have certain plays for certain positions. The kicker doesn't. They're not on the O-line. They're the kicker.
Yeah.
If you take it, that's his job. If you're a ruckman, we want you to tap the ball out, create space,
100%,
and try and get it to your good ball users. That's your job. Having someone like that you can just be an ice block on him, put him in the esky, get him in there, and just cool him off. I fucking love it. And I love that. You see, they say it was actually quite tactical from Clary. He bit back at quarter time. So that they had a scuffle, but he waited till the siren went so he couldn't give away a free kick.
Yeah, right.
It's very clever. So he's obviously thought, he's like, fuck this. I'll wait for the siren and start ripping into him. But, Jev, Hawthorn are going to be awesome over the next few years. Warp 30, Carl Amon 27, Nash 25. Jarman Impey's actually been really good. I was very big on him. I'm like, he's fucking done. He's been really good this year for him, like a really good experience play, him and Sicily. They highly possess the footy. Oh, will Day end up getting injured? Is that when he went back with the flight? He had 20 and a goal. I did for a snag in the 100K. 345.
He's such a gun.
He's a good player.
I fucking love him as like my number one breakout player next year. Like
191, 83 kilos.
Scary good player. John Newcomb was laid out with a hammy. So for 3 goals, you could get Melksham, $3.70, Van Rulen, $4.70. That's about it for the goals. Joel Smith kicked 2. Can you get him? He paid $3.10 for 2. Petrarca kicked snag, Sparrow, Brayshaw, Chandler, and Oliver. Oliver was $3 for 1. So could have made some good money on this game if you had it. Hey, Hustlethwaite kicked 2 and had 15. Don't know much about what's his name? Henry Hustle. I just saw his team was on Silly Sunday while he's kicking snags. So good on him.
That's awesome. Yeah. Melbourne.
Final game. I didn't see a second of this game, the Bachelor's game. I was just being an adult and not watching a 4:40 Sunday game. Port get the job done by 16 points. We don't have the market screenshot. Did you see any of this game, Das?
I was making dinner, but Brayshaw 32. No, they just got it done. Port.
Did you have a bowl of crunchy nut for dinner? That take 2 seconds to make. Finlayson 2 goals 3. Frederick 2. Burn Jones 2. Brayshaw 32. Henry 30. Butters is back. 1 goal and 31. Schultz 27, Sarong another 27. He's a good player. Luke Ryan 25, Wines 25, Rosie 24. Just good players playing well. Professional win by Port Adelaide. They're currently 3rd on the ladder. So what is their fixture? So Brisbane and Port Adelaide are both on, 64 points. So Brisbane have the Saints at the Gabba. You think they win that. And Port Adelaide have Richmond. So think they win that. Richmond at Adelaide Oval. So Brisbane's percentage is way better. So you can't really see that changing. But Collingwood have Essendon at the G. Do Essendon show a bit and beat the Pies on the G? Because Brisbane could finish on top if Essendon beat the Pies.
I definitely think they're going to come out and have a go. They almost beat them last time.
Ticker. Friday night, that is.
They almost beat them last time, remember? That was on answer day.
Dacos. That was when he was a moral to win best on medal.
Both teams want to get a win to finish off the year.
For sure. Collingwood can't go into the
1 and 4.
1 and 4. They can't. All right, good work, Das. I'll see you on Tuesday for Hook, Line and Sinker, our last one before finals. How'd you and Luke Morgs go? Did you go 9 for 9 this week?
Fuck no, we tipped the fucking Dogs.
Oh, fucking oath, you would have. I don't blame you. God. Anyway, work, brothers.
Finals, Jevy.
Up the Bloods, up the Blues. What a pod. See you, mate.